Hi there. Today I'm going to share my knowledge about drawing lips and explain how to make them look lively, voluminous, and cute. I'm still a beginner blogger, so I'll do my best to impress you. So grab your Coke, tablet, and stylus. By the way, the brushes and useful stuff are in the description under the video. So let's get started, guys. First, let's simplify the shape of the lips. You can do it like this. Draw one circle on top and two on the bottom. Then add 2 points on the sides. Draw a small check mark above the first circle, and finish it off with a line that follows the shape of the circles. These 3 circles define the basic shape of the lips, and the points on the sides show the corners of the mouth. Well, we'll continue talking about the shape of the lips. I want to show examples in 2 different styles. In my opinion, this minimalist style of lips looks very neat. I think it's because the focus is shifted to other details. I'd say this style is more characteristic of the Japanese approach. Another example of simplified lips. Here, however, the focus is very much on the lips themselves. I like how full and voluminous they are, very much a Korean vibe. These lips seem like a mix of realism and stylization. They look super appealing. Another example, also very full lips in a similar Korean style. Of course, there are many styles, but I wanted to show these 2 opposite ones to clearly see the difference. I'd like to focus on the second example. In my opinion, it's better to start studying this style because it puts a strong emphasis on the shape of the lips. Understanding the shape allows you to simplify or exaggerate it in your own style, correctly place shadows and highlights, and create volume. Let's return to the canvas. Now we're sketching the rough outlines that will contain our lips. You could say this is the second sketch, which will gradually modify and refine. After that, we add colors and blend it, outlining them within the frame of our sketch, while occasionally going slightly outside the lines for a more lively effect. After adding color, we apply the approximate placement of shadows using a more muted shade, slightly leaning toward cooler tones. I also wanted to mention, the bigger and more pronounced the corners of the lips, the more voluminous they appear. And I want to add, when applying shadows, it's helpful to use the circles we drew in the initial sketch as a guide. Why? Because they help distribute the volume correctly. On the upper lip, focus on the circle in the middle, subtly emphasizing it on the sides. On the lower lip, focus between the 2 circles, roughly showing the volume in the center of the lips. This way, the shape looks more lively and voluminous. Gradually, we slightly strengthen the lip line, making it more noticeable and defined. Next, we add highlights, deepen the shadows to create depth and refine the details. The texture of the lips, subtle wrinkles, soft highlights, and gentle color transitions that make the lips look more lively and voluminous. And here's the final touch, bestie. We've added a bit of shadow for realism and finished with small but bright highlights to make the lips pop with volume and life. Let's talk about lips in 3/4 view. The drawing scheme stays similar, but the perspective changes a bit. Simplify the shape. 1 circle on top and 2 on the bottom. The circle closer to the viewer is slightly bigger, the far one smaller, and 1 lower circle slightly overlaps the other. The corners of the mouth also shift. The near one is almost fully visible, while the far one slides back into the volume. The check mark is asymmetrical. The near line is higher and longer, the far one shorter. The finishing line follows the shape of the circles, slightly curving to emphasize the turn of the lips. And a little bit of magic. To wrap up the video, I want to note that it's important to remember that practicing with different styles and angles helps you better understand the shape of the lips. Understanding volume gives you freedom. You can simplify or exaggerate details in your own style, correctly place light and shadow, and add texture and highlights. Try repeating these steps yourself. Observe the shape and lighting, and over time you'll develop your own unique approach to drawing lips. That's it for today, bestie. We went through 2 opposite styles of lips, explored how to work with shape, volume, light, and shadow, and also tried constructing lips in 3/4 view. That's all for today, bestie. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.